For the longest time, we've been asking for a standalone zombies game, for a COD title titled Call of Duty Zombies. Just that game mode on its own. No campaign, no multiplayer. You could describe it, well, it would also be called a spin-off of Call of Duty. That would be a standalone zombies mode. Ever since Black Ops 3, you could even say BO2, this is what the community's been asking for, but I think we can safely say, for now at least, that's something that isn't in the works. We're still yet to get Zombies Chronicles 2, so a standalone COD Zombies mode would be a bit of a step too far, just in my opinion, as of right now. But we actually have already had this. We have had a spin-off of Call of Duty Zombies. We have had a standalone zombies game. And even I didn't really think of it in this way, or at least I forgot about this, and I was just reminded of it because I was scrolling through the wiki of COD Zombies trying to brush up some of my facts for a video that I wanted to make, and as I was scrolling down, I noticed that it said Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies spin-off. I was like, when did this happen? So I clicked the link and it took me to the mobile version. I thought, well, haven't we had other versions of COD on, say, the Nintendo DS, or we saw COD Zombies on the Nintendo Wii? What makes the mobile version a spin-off compared to those where they wouldn't be classed as that? And then I thought, actually, this is right. The mobile version of Black Ops Zombies and also the mobile version of World at War Zombies, we had both, are spin-offs, are standalone versions, standalone games of COD Zombies. The DS version, that was Black Ops as a whole, it included the campaign, etc. The Nintendo Wii version of Black Ops had the multiplayer and, again, the campaign, but the mobile version is just a standalone zombies game. So perhaps it isn't the spin-off that we've been asking for all these years, but this was, and still to this day, is the only time we've ever seen a standalone COD Zombies. Just a mode on its own. And what's even more, I was going to say interesting but disappointing, is the fact that you can't even get this anymore, which upset me because I used to have this on my iPad. I actually just went and looked back to see if I still had it downloaded, and I didn't. I think if you did download this back in the day and you didn't delete it, you can still play it. But if you did remove it, you can't download it from the App Store anymore, so yeah, it's gone forever. There was a spin-off, a standalone version of COD Zombies, but it was discontinued. Since then we have seen COD Zombies on the mobile return, but again, that isn't a standalone zombies mode, which I'm pretty sure even that is now being removed, but still, that wasn't a standalone game because there was also multiplayer. This was officially a spin-off of Call of Duty Zombies. Like I said, there are two different spin-offs, one called just Call of Duty Zombies, this is World at Wars, and the other Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies, so you can see it titled COD BOZ. I think the Black Ops one is a lot more popular just because it contains more content, and it's the newer one, so focusing on that one more. But at the time, it was developed by IdeaWorks Game Studios, which changed their name to Marmalade Game Studios, and was available on both Android and iOS. It launched back in December of 2011, and cost just $7. Yes, this was a time when you had to pay for things. I think nowadays, if this was to release, it would be a free game, but it would include a lot of microtransactions. But yeah, for just $7, you could get Call of Duty Zombies, and with it came two different maps, Kino der Toten and Dead Ops Arcade, which were both fully transformed for the mobile. Surprisingly, looking back on this now, how they managed to convert all of this onto the mobile, especially over 10 years ago, in my opinion, is pretty impressive. But there were a few differences to the console version, as you would expect, but there were also a lot of similarities as well. The characters you played as were the Ultimus crew, Richtoff and Takio, Nikolai and Dempsey. The game didn't release with every weapon, it was missing the ray gun, the monkey bomb and the Spaz 12, but they were all added in later updates. However, one of the most noticeable differences, what made this unique but you could also say at the same time not so good, was that they added a COD point feature, so you could buy things using actual real life money. So for example, if you didn't have enough points to buy something in the game, you could use your real life COD points to purchase it. For example, you could use them to buy, say, extra quick revives. Whether it's a good thing or bad thing, adding stuff like this into the game is controversial, but it definitely made it unique so that points weren't as much as a worry. Eventually, Ascension got added into the game and included the Thunder Gun, the Ghost Device, the Matryoshka dolls, and then they also released Call of the Dead, which was called Call of the Dead Director's Cut. And what was different about this version of this map compared to the console or PC version was that you played as the Ultimus crew instead of the Call of the Dead cast. But being available on the mobile, as you would expect, there are some downgrades, not necessarily the fault of the developers just because of the hardware. There are a few weapons that, when you pack-a-punch them, actually don't end up getting upgraded. The painting of the Mystery Man that we saw in Kino der Toten was removed. Unlike the console versions of Black Ops Zombies, there was actually no perk limit in the spin-off version. Similar to the older games, World at War, etc., there are only 27 zombies per round, with only 10 being allowed on screen at once, which, when you say it, sounds pretty easy, but with the controls on mobile, actually isn't as simple as you might think. Out of all of the maps that released on this, of course Kino der Toten is the best. Personally for me, when it comes to playing on console, I actually prefer Ascension over any of these, but the mobile version, I think Kino is much better. Not that it really matters anymore though, because it's unavailable, which I think is a massive shame because this at the time was so good. I would go back every now and again and play this. There wasn't anything like it. Okay, nowadays we have COD Mobile, but we still don't have a zombies mode, and we've seen many different versions of zombies. We had COD Online that had its own futuristic robot zombies mode. As I brought up earlier, we've had it on the Wii and the DS, but just having the zombies mode available on the mobile, it was so accessible for what it was. I was going to say a relatively simple mode, but considering Black Ops Zombies was not that complex anyway, it wasn't missing all that much. This was a very good spin-off, and for a mobile game it was more than adequate. As to why they got rid of it, I honestly don't know. The last time it was ever seen was back in July of 2018 when it was made unavailable for Android. Perhaps it does have something to do with COD Mobile since that released on October of 2019. So now I think about it, maybe that is the reason when that was in development they stopped supporting this one. But I personally think the two could have run at the same time. I don't think one would have taken away from the other. Maybe with the amount of people purchasing it, it just wasn't worth the running costs anymore. But it's a real shame because it was so good. And the other one, which was just as good, was also the World at War version, which was called Call of Duty Zombies. This one released in November of 2009, so pretty much a year after World at War released on the consoles. This was just World at War Zombies, which included all of the World at War maps, Nacht, Shinonuma, Verrückt, and Der Riese. It was a little bit cheaper than Black Ops Zombies, costing $4.99, although its original price was $9.99. Interestingly, the iPad version of the game was actually called Call of Duty Zombies HD, but other than that, I don't think there were too many changes. The goal is the same, surviving undead hordes of zombies. Unlike the console version, you could actually choose difficulties. You could either play on Recruit, which would give you more health, Regular, which is just like the console version. If you want to take a little bit of trivia about this one, the Ray Gun and the Wunderwaffe DG2 actually had less splash damage in this game. The Monkey Bomb also had a longer wind-up time. In Nacht, for the Easter egg people, you can actually hear howling, which you can't hear on the consoles. And whilst we're still on the topic of Easter eggs, one Easter egg that's always really intrigued me was on this version on the mobile, this wasn't on consoles, you can find Peter McCain's grave. Peter is obviously a huge character in the zombie story. When you open up all of the map on Shinonuma, you see a quote that says, "All areas unlocked, now find the grave." Your knife is then turned into a shovel, which you then need to find a grave that is marked with Peter's name, and use the shovel to dig up the Wunderwaffe DG2. Overall, what I want to say is I think both of these spin-offs were very good. I would do anything now to get something like this, even though it isn't exactly these standalone zombies that we want. Just having this mode there on your mobile, if you ever feel like playing a quick game of zombies, this was really good because besides of course the graphical difference, the layout was the same, all of the weapons, minus major Easter eggs. But if you just wanted to simply play a game of zombies, okay, maybe you wouldn't go on for too long because of the controls, but this was a great mode, and to see them get rid of it, especially now that we don't have anything like this. If we had COD Mobile Zombies, then okay, but these two were so unique. These were and still are the only spin-offs for COD Zombies we've seen. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Did you play these two games? If you did, do you still have them or not? Drop a like rating, make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.